Hello everyone and welcome back to another week's video. So this week I'm very curious about what your hobbies are. And no, I'm not referring to watching TV series or listening to music. What is something that you do in your leisure time that keeps you busy but also makes you relax? Maybe something that you do with your hands. Or maybe you are a person that doesn't really have any hobby and you are actually looking for something interesting, to pick up, or something different than what you are usually doing, like dancing or singing. So, here's a list of the 15 best hobbies that you can try. The first time my grandmother mentioned knitting, I was like, no, no, I'm not an old person. This is not something that's for me. I will definitely not like doing this. Until a few years later, my sister-in-law actually bought me a crochet starter kit. I tried it and oh my goodness, I was hooked. Pun intended. Now, knitting is not so much my cup of tea, but I do love crochet, and you can actually make something really interesting and modern and funky with it. Baking! Woo! Now there is nothing as delicious as walking into a home and smelling freshly baked bread or some yummy chocolate chip or peanut butter cookies. You can get some awesome recipes online, or even better, invest in a nice cookbook for your kitchen. Now, technology is great. Being able to actually save all of your images and work and photos online or on the cloud. But there's just something so therapeutic and so rewarding when you see your printed photos in your hands. That smell of the glue and how rewarding it is when you write that little memory down of that day that the picture and the photo was actually captured. And scrapbooking is actually very cost effective too, because you don't necessarily need to go out and buy hundreds of costly and expensive materials. You can actually use household items like foil, old shirt buttons, magazine cutouts, hairpins or ribbons, or even food coloring to zhuzh up your scrapbook a bit. If you like wearing jewelry, why not try your hand at jewelry making? Or you can make something special for a family member or a friend, maybe for their birthday. And if you are really good at jewelry making, you can even make a business out of it. Who knows what might happen? The sky's the limit. Now, drawing is definitely one of my favorite pastimes, even though I don't get a lot of time to do it. And you don't necessarily need to be a skilled Picasso artist to actually draw. Did you know that doodling is also seen as drawing? So maybe try your hand at figure drawing, cartoon or animations, perspective, photorealism, illustrations, or like I said, doodling. Are you a musical lover? Then save up some money and maybe hone your skills and try playing a musical instrument. Learn to play your favorite song, or maybe be original and create your own new tune. Now, there are a huge variety of sports in which you can invest your time and your money in. Now, the costs are a bit more expensive, but if you buy proper gear in the beginning, it is definitely something that will last you a lifetime. Deep sea fishing and normal fishing is actually also one of my favorite sports. And an added bonus is that it will help you to stay fit, active, and healthy. Photography. Now, some of you might know that a few years ago, I actually took up photography as a hobby. And to this day, it is still something that I love. It's a huge passion of mine. And with the new cell phone specs that you actually get today, you don't need to invest in a very expensive camera. Just use your phone. Try your hand at shooting portrait, landscape, editorial, food, street, architectural, or fashion photography, and see which one you like best. Renovate and restore some of those old, unused furniture items. Or be creative and make and build yourself something new. There are many YouTube channels and other platforms like Pinterest that give you great ideas of how you can revamp and restore your old furniture to make them look modern and brand new. Yep, I had the exact same reaction as some of you. I had absolutely no clue what pewtering was until a family member actually introduced me to it a few years ago. It's basically sheets of tin with different widths into which you can carve multiple different designs or pictures that you like. You can then take these tin sheets and glue them to multiple different surfaces of something that you would like to decorate. For example, a jewelry box. Pottery. Now this is definitely a bucket list hobby for me. It's something that I want to try at least once in my life. For me, it's very therapeutic to work with my hands, to put things together, to make and create stuff. Pottery reminds me of the Bible verse, Isaiah 64 verse 8. We are the clay and you are our potter. We are all the work of your hands. Even if you don't do it long term, maybe try out pottery just once. Make something special for yourself. The same way you were molded and created uniquely by God. Backpacking or camping. Now this is something that the younger, blonder version of Nikita definitely was not into, but there's just a certain peace and tranquility that you experience when you are out in nature, with the crackling of a campfire, the smell of fresh, clean air, the mountains around you, and the sun setting in its orange and purpley pink painted sky. If you're an outdoorsy and adventurous type of person, then this is definitely a hobby that I would recommend you do. Again, not something that was quite my cup of tea, but then I met Daniel, my husband, and well, the rest is history. When I was younger, I didn't think that I liked playing games that much, but because Daniel was into it, I thought, let me just be open-minded and at least try to do something with him. You know, let me try and play 1 or 2 games. And to my surprise, I loved it. My favorite is to play MMO and RPG games. And the bonus is that it is something that I get to enjoy to do with my husband. So we get something to bond over with. Try it out. Maybe you'll be surprised like I was, and it's something that you actually like. Origami. Now, whoever actually thought that folding sheets of paper together could be a hobby? You'll be amazed at all the beautiful designs and patterns that you can actually fold. And it is actually said that origami helps to stimulate your brain to improve your focus, dexterity, concentration, memory retention, and brain relaxation. Gardening. Plant some flowers, maintain your own vegetable and fruit garden, and get a nice herb garden going, especially if your other hobby is cooking. Gardening is not just a means for you to relax or something that you do that you love, but it also helps and it is beneficial for the fauna and the flora, especially if you learn how to combine certain plants and trees in certain areas. And don't be concerned if you don't have a green thumb. Gardening is easy to learn just with some determination and research. Learning a new hobby in the beginning can be extremely daunting, and you might think that you won't like it. And this will then stop you from actually trying something new. But As you get older, you'll learn that if you don't try something new, you'll always be stuck in exactly the same place. You owe it to yourself to try out something new, to expand your skills and expand your knowledge, to improve. And who knows, you might even come upon an undiscovered talent. Give yourself the chance to learn and experience new things. Now, if you've tried a new hobby recently, I would love to know about it. Or if you have a hobby that you want us to try out, please put it in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.